Thank you, Chairman Comer. Honorable Robbins, based on your record before your committee, when did Governor Walz first become aware of widespread fraud in Minnesota social service programs?
I would assume that he has been aware of it since he ran for office for governor in 2018.
By 2017, DHS investigators warned CCAP fraud could exceed 50%. What was that information elevated to the governor's office?
Yes, there was an OLA report.
Thank you, ma'am. By 2020, state officials knew Feeding Our Future invoices were fraudulent. We know that payments continued to the AG's knowledge. Did they continue to the governor's knowledge as well?
Yes.
Attorney General Ellison agreed on tape to fight Minnesota's own Department of Human and Health Services in exchange for Somali political and financial support. In your personal opinion, do you believe it is a possibility that Governor Walz also made that personal deal, or that he at least knew about the Attorney General's agreement?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't want to rehash what you guys have spent hours answering. We know that there's a big issue with the fraud in Minnesota. So on a number of things, I'd first like to point out, thank you for being here today, but because of your testimony and because of some of the evidence that we've seen brought forward, as well as I'm sure the fact that this committee, I assume, at Chairman Comer's direction, will be soon subpoenaing AG Ellison, I would like to make criminal referrals regarding Governor Walz as well as AG Ellison. As you know, U.S. Code 371 and U.S. Code 2, which deals with criminalized conspiracies to defraud the United States and establishes liability for individuals who knowingly aid or abet the commission of federal offense, includes willful blindness or deliberate inaction where duties to act exist. So I will be referring them later on today. Now, aside from that, I do just want to point out that there is a statute that you can denaturalize citizens if their applications were fraudulent, and also too if within 10 years of their naturalization that they committed fraud in the U.S. And so I take this very seriously, and it's very unfortunate that these people chose to do this, because being an American citizen is not a right, it's a privilege, especially if you were not born here. And so with that idea in mind, I would like to say that these criminals took advantage of the very country that gave them refuge. They do not deserve the privilege of remaining here, and frankly, they don't deserve to even be imprisoned here, which is why, as the chairwoman of the El Salvador caucus, I work very strongly with President Bukele, and we also know that CCOT has proven to be a great facility to house people that are denaturalized and deemed not worthy of U.S. citizenship, and I will be making referrals for those individuals if they are found guilty. Thank you for being here today. Chairman, I yield my time.
Will you yield the last 2 minutes you had?
Yes, sir, to you.
All right. So we've talked a lot about Governor Walz. I think you all have done a tremendous job codifying the fact that there's massive amounts of waste in Minnesota. This has been taking place for years, and yet nothing's been done. The Democrats want to keep spending more money. They're like, why are we cutting off funding temporarily? We need to spend more money, throw more money at the problem. That's not working. The American people aren't going to have it. Thank you all for being here today to talk about this. I know it takes a lot of courage, and I'm sure you're probably getting threats from certain people that have benefited from this, and others that are misinformed by some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. We've talked about Walz. You've stated that Walz has been well aware of this, but we haven't talked a lot about Attorney General Ellison. Very quickly, do you all have anything to add about his knowledge? Was he aware of this? Go ahead, Ms. Rank.
Thank you. I actually had that document in front of me that I wanted to share. So this is from a press release that we actually confronted him with when we had a hearing and he was in front of us. And the press release is from September 26th of 2022. And this is from press release from his office. And it says, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and his office have been deeply involved for 2 years in holding Feeding Our Future accountable. Now, the tape that we've been talking about as well, where he said he would go to bat for the fraudsters against state agencies, which, by the way, were his clients, happened 1 year prior to this press release. So if he had been working to oust the fraudsters for Feeding Our Future, he would have known who they were at the time of that meeting. He claimed in front of us that he did not know who they were. That was his reason to meet with them. And by the way, I would say that he did not meet with him in his official office, which is highly suspect. He met with them at a strip mall, I think, something like that.
Okay. Well, we've invited him to be at our next hearing on this. If he doesn't respond very soon, he will be receiving a subpoena to be here at the next hearing. And we look forward to working with you and any other whistleblowers who want to come forward to ask Mr. Ellison specific questions. Now, Chair recognizes Mr. Gill for